The University of Oregon is located in Eugene, a city of 80,000 people, situated in the lush Willamette River Valley, midway between Cascade Mountains and the Pacific Ocean.
Touchdown, Stewart. Yeah, I got your speed right here.
Hey, ball corner 10, outside block. Are you kidding me?
I'm really proud of where this team's at. We got a lot of work to do.
What's the deal, Duck family? I am Kenjon alongside Jonathan Stewart, and we welcome you to another episode of the Ducks of a Feather podcast. Today we'll be talking about the Ducks win over the Bruins, as well as jumping into this upcoming game against Michigan State. But before we get into any of that, we have a huge announcement, and I mean huge. Next week at noon, October 10th on Thursday, we'll be doing a live podcast in the EMU Amphitheater. Again, I repeat, we are doing a live show at the amphitheater in the EMU on October 10th at noon. Myself, Jay Stu, will be previewing the Ohio State game. We'll be answering some questions from all of you guys. This is something that we're super excited about. I'm biting at the bit for it. Stu, tell me how you feel about it. What you thinking?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good about it, man. You know, Oregon-Ohio State game, it's been talked about for some time now. I'm flying way across the country to get back to the old stomping grounds of Eugene. You know, I can't wait to be there. You know, smell the fresh air coming off the Cascades.
Boy, I need some fresh air. This LA smog ain't. This ain't it.
All that smog down there.
Man, wake up and lungs is just full of nothing, man. So yeah, we're definitely excited about it. Stu's coming across the country. I'm coming from the deep desert of Southern California. I can't wait to get out this heat because listen, I feel like. Let me not say that.
Yeah. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot here in Charlotte. You know, that humidity has got to go.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It is
so,
hot.
So, you know, and at the end of the day, that's why it's so nice in Eugene. The Pacific Northwest, man. You got the nice, crisp air, breathe, nice and easy. So for all y'all that are in Oregon right now, just know that y'all blessed.
Blessed.
Favored.
Highly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's going to be nice to get back to the EMU.
It's going to be great. Probably one of the most well-known spots on campus.
Yeah.
I've been in film, so, you know, I'm excited about it. It's going to be a great show. Get to interact with the fans a little bit. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be a great show, but can't wait to get back to that Emerald Valley. You know, rain, sun.
Yeah, I wonder what the weather's going to be like. You think it's going to rain? You think it's going to rain when we out there?
Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, I come to you in advance.
Yes,
asking
Lord.
for clear skies and sunshine. Please, no rain.
No rain.
And as the saying goes, it never rains in Austin Stadium anyway.
There it is. But we ain't going to be in Austin Stadium. We're going to be at the EMU Amphitheater.
Well, we're going to be an extension of that.
All right. There it is.
Yeah,
now.
you know, Austin is where we are.
Okay. It's in your heart.
But listen, enough of that. Let's dive into this last week's game, Ducks versus the Bruins. What a game it won. The Ducks won 34-13. Was quite the performance. I'm glad I watched it in person, and I did not enjoy the experience of watching it in person. As you were texting throughout the game, it didn't feel like what you were saying it looked like on TV. And so when you're telling me this, I'm like, well, what is he seeing that I'm not seeing? Because it just don't feel that way. So I finally was able to get home, turn the TV on, sit back and watch the game. And boy, it was impressive. It was very impressive. Extremely happy with how they came out after the bye week. Energetic, came out with a purpose, came out driven, came out and dominated.
Yeah, especially on that defensive side of the ball.
Boy.
I am very happy and pleased about how our defense is playing.
Yes.
You know, it's something to say about how they started. Obviously, they're going through a lot of, you know, figuring out who's the best fit. You know, some guys a little banged up. Don't necessarily want to put them out there while they're banged up and get them even more injured.
Yeah.
You know, such as Bossa. We haven't really seen too much of him, so he's been on a snap count.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I think at the end of the day, this defense is trending in a good direction.
The defense gave up 0 offensive touchdowns. Didn't give up a rushing first down in the first half. That was the stat that stuck out to me. To see them continue on, like you said, trending in the right direction in the run game and continue that against UCLA. But here's the thing. They did exactly what they were supposed to do against this UCLA team.
Yes.
As I've stated before, I'm never going to make something more than what it is or less than what it should be. And we're going to call a spade, and UCLA is off.
Yeah.
They don't have the pieces. They don't have the players. So the Ducks went in there and did exactly what great teams are supposed to do against teams that are not on their level they're not on their level when it comes to competing. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. No offensive touchdown, had 431 total yards. I think at one point in time in this game, they had a total of, I think it was maybe 56 or 57 total yards of offense, UCLA.
That's what you call not good enough.
That's what you call putting that kid over your knee and whooping that butt.
Whooping that buddy.
Come here.
Come here, boy.
Hit them boy with that. Oh,
yeah, let's talk about what you wearing.
Listen, let's talk about it. I'm glad that, first of all, this is a robe from Harry Potter.
Okay.
This is not just any robe. This is a robe from the House of Gryffindor. And the reason why I'm wearing this on this week's episode is because we lost a great soul in Maggie Smith, a.k.a. Professor McGonagall, who passed away on September 27th, in an exact year from when Professor Dumbledore passed away the year before. So I'm just paying homage to, my childhood, college years, because I was in midnight previews every Harry Potter movie. I was at the midnight preview, no matter, we had practice early, school, tests. I was going to see Harry Potter. Me and my boys, we was in the midnight previews up at the Valley River Mall. Yeah.
Yeah, Valley River Mall, huh?
Shout out to the Valley Red.
Yeah, Valley River. I used to go to the Valley River Mall and camp out for that Call of Duty.
Okay. See, we was at the mall for different reasons.
Yeah.
You was camping out for video games. I was going to watch Harry Potter. Let's jump back into this game. So before we do, rest in peace to Miss Maggie. Thank you for the memories. Go ahead, put your wands in the air for Professor McGonagall one time for me. Okay. But back into this game, Stu. Let's talk about the offense. What'd you see from the offense that you like?
I'm going to just call it the running game. My man got over 18 carries. Was it 18 or over 18? 18.
It might have been just over.
Either way, the running game was efficient. They were dominant when they needed to be.
Yeah.
When you talk about throwing a pick six going into the second half, that can be detrimental to a team.
Yeah.
And, it kind of, put us in a stalemate as far as coming out in a weird space, not being able to score. But what do? You commit to the run game. Get up out of there.
Yeah.
It's an away game. And at the end of the day, as long as you get that dub, that's all that matters. And I feel like coaching, they realized, let's not really put ourselves in a predicament such as injuries, trying to make things happen, force things to look a certain way for the end of the game, as far as forcing points on the board, right? You have a short week. So get your team out of there safe. And Jordan James and crew ran the ball very well, man. And I loved how they connected towards the end there in the fourth quarter. Just a exclamation mark, Tez Johnson in the end zone, finding him was a nice touch.
Shout out to Tez, who continues to show up, continues to perform at a high level. Clearly separating himself from the rest of the guys on the team. Not to say that they aren't doing their job, but Tez is he's just a level
different
above everybody right now.
Yeah, he's just different.
One thing I don't want to say, one thing I don't particularly care for offensively that we do a lot, the bubble screens. Now, I know we did it back with Chip. I know we did it the RPO option, but in my opinion, in a game like that where the bubble screens are, just run the rock more.
Yeah.
We throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Why not just hand it off to Noah or to Jordan and let those guys do what they do? That was the only thing. And outside of the interception, which really wouldn't have been an interception if Tez keeps his feet. That wouldn't have been
right. I mean, it was still a bad read, though. It was a bad read.
He was covered.
And, you want to make sure you don't put your receivers in those predicaments anyway.
Yeah.
Get your team out of there unscathed as much as possible, especially when Ferguson got, that collision. You don't want to mess around and necessarily get anybody else in those types of situations. And so that's what you're really fearful of when you're already having a lead, doing something to put your players in at risk of getting hurt. But those bubble screens, I'm with you.
Look, I didn't like it. As I'm watching the game, I'm like, why
especially as a running back.
Bubble screen?
especially
Like,
as a
why?
running back. It's kind of offensive. It's like, hey, brother,
Yeah, like
throw me a toss. You want to stretch the defense out?
not a toss.
Yeah, I don't like tosses either. You already,
No,
hey,
unless it's
you
same
already know
side.
how I like.
Look, unless it's same side, I'll do a same side toss
Oh
out the
yeah,
gun. I
yeah.
don't want to toss out the eye.
Mm.
I don't want it. You
You
can
gotta
keep
have
it.
that. You gotta have that dog on the edge, though.
You absolutely
You
do.
gotta have that dog on the edge. And you have to have that receiver that's willing to come in there and
That's
smack
willing
somebody.
to come down and smack somebody off their feet. Yeah, but listen, I think
Yeah.
you were talking about injuries. Let's talk about T. Ferg for a minute. And DG, stepping up in a major way and getting up in Addison's face, letting him know,
Yeah.
letting him know what it was. I love to see that. You love it.
Yeah.
As a player, the quarterback is protected. You don't expect him to really get into the nonsense of anything. But when your quarterback is willing to stand up and stand tall for you and take that fight to the opposing team, that just does something like, okay, yeah, that's my guy right there. That's my dog.
Sometimes you just need somebody to step in and, step up for you, speak for you, especially when you're laying on the ground.
Absolutely. What'd you think about that hit?
I mean, it was bang, bang, at the end of the day. Like,
I don't think he was going for the ball, Stu. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, it was definitely a little bit outlandish, right?
Mm-hmm.
But slow motion, taking a look back at it, take emotion out of it. It was bang, bang. And he could have easily maneuvered himself out of, making a collision, like we saw. Just play ball, right? Yeah. But I think this game is naturally a violent game.
Absolutely.
And so you got guys on the other side of the ball that just want to be violent. So I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But, for it to be T. Ferg, we would always like to see a different outcome.
I completely agree. This is a violent game. Point blank period. There's no getting around it. It is a violent game. And to play defense, you got to have a mentality to where you about violence.
You got to want to take heads off.
Absolutely. And for Addison, once being a Duck, now playing against them, I understand, he wanted to go out there and make a statement, and he did with the pick six, the big hit and all that. He had a good game. But I'm just not sure my guy was going from the ball.
He was probably going for the head and trying to make it look like he was going for the ball.
Yeah, them elbows and everything else was all up in this area right here.
Yeah.
A couple other things. When we're talking about dogs, I want to talk about Trayshawn for a minute. I love the fire that he has. But Trey, you got to be able to control it.
Yeah.
There was a play on the sideline where the guy was grabbing onto his foot, and Trey stepped on the guy a little bit. Maybe he was trying to step over, maybe he wasn't. But watching Trayshawn over these past couple of weeks, he's a fiery. He's a guy that you want on your side, no doubt about it. But I want you to also understand that eyes are on you. And when I say eyes, I'm speaking about that next level. And so you don't want to get labeled as a guy way before you get into the league where that could potentially affect you and where you go, where you get drafted, and how teams look at you. So I love the fire in you. Keep the fire, but learn how to control that fire and don't be consumed by the fire, bro, because it can land you in a bad way.
Well said. Well said.
Let's get in. My boy, Betcher.
Oh, number 28. I'm telling you, dog, that's the number.
First, it was the last name with Stewart, right? It was the last name.
Yeah.
Now
There's just a lot of relations to greatness out there, man. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, okay, we'll put it out there then. But no, had his first interception of the season. I think that's his first career interception. So shout out to my guy Betcher, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm loving the way he's playing. He's flying around the field, making tackles. And one other guy that we gotta show some love to, Birch.
Yeah, Jordan Birch was causing havoc, boy.
Everywhere.
Jordan Birch, shout out to you, bro. You out there, like, I almost felt bad for their quarterback.
I did.
At one point.
He had on the wrong color. He was from the wrong side of the street.
He was on the wrong side of the street.
I ain't from the wrong side, bro. I ain't feeling nothing.
But there was like a sequence of plays where it was just like back to back. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad he's on our team. And in that instant, I realized this defense is nothing like what we saw in the first 2 weeks.
No.
Nothing like. Like, there was flashes of guys doing certain things the right way. But this is one of them games It's like, okay, we're going on the road. Okay, we know what time it is.
Yeah.
Defense, we got to ball out. We got to lock it up. We got to make it quiet. We got to tone it down in there. And they did exactly that out the gate. They stood no chance.
Birch had a heck of a game, and that sequence, I think he had a TFL, and I think he had a sack right after that.
Yeah.
But he was giving that offensive line fits all day long. The entire D line was doing their thing. So shout out to the D line. Keep doing it. Keep growing. Keep evolving. Keep getting better. Because we're gonna need y'all to hold down the fort. As we get into the meat of this schedule.
Yeah.
But let's talk about these jerseys, Stu.
Oh yeah.
This is a special jersey. Reason being, it's designed in collab with First Lady of Duck Football, Sophia Lanning, who's a cancer survivor. She was battling and fighting through osteosarcoma. For her to be able to, her and her children as well, to be able to design this uniform, this will probably, for me, be my favorite uniform of the season just because of the sentimental value and what it means to Dan Lanning, his wife, their kids, their family. And I'm just glad that the Ducks did this in support of them.
Yeah, man, this is obviously the time of the year where it's an opportunity for us to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Much needed awareness. You know, cancer is defeating a lot of families, but there's also stories like Sophia that rise above and battle this thing through the grace of God and just, you know, just the support system and just continued efforts to fight this nasty illness.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Shout out to the Ducks. Shout out to Kenny, Mrs. Lanning, to the three boys. I love the ice cream cone that they put in there and what that represented. That was Sophia and the kids when she would get done with treatment. That's what they would do. They would go get ice cream, treat themselves after a chemo session. So it's just a beautiful thing. And I love the fact that they did this. And I'm sure that this means the world to them. And they'll always hold this uniform special in their heart. All right. It's that time. It's our favorite time, Stu. It's that time. So let's get into this Michigan State prediction.
I just want to let y'all know, last week I was right.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, don't take that 24-point nut. I said it.
You said it?
I said it. And they wasn't.
Correct.
All right. I knew a little something going to be a little hairy. All right. I knew it was going to just be a away game, scoring 50, whatever you want to do, and holding guys to 0. We're going to be like that. And so this week,
what you think?
If y'all want to follow your boy, okay, it's going to be
Bets
a treat.
with Stewie.
Bets with Stewie.
Bets with Stewie, baby. So listen, the Ducks favored by 24.5.
I'm taking
24.5. Are you going over or are you going under?
Over.
You're going over?
Yes.
Tell me why.
I'm telling you why. Michigan State, they'll score a touchdown and kick a field goal, and they'll have 10 points.
That's it.
That's it. Them boys in yellow, because they're gonna be wearing that yellow, right?
Yeah.
Sophia Lanning gonna light a match,
and
it's just gonna be one of them games.
Yeah.
And I can give you another prediction.
Well, go ahead.
Jordan James, $1.50 plus,
$1.50 and some change.
$1.50 and some change.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And you can keep the change at that.
Keep the change.
All right. So Jordan James about to do that thing.
Okay.
So I'm ready for this.
Listen, Jordan, he put it on you.
Yeah. Because it's going to be one of them games, dog. Yeah, pause. Because it's going to be one of them games. It's a short week. We have to acknowledge it's a short week. And what do we do on short weeks, Kenyon?
We rest. We recover. Walkthroughs.
And when you play that game, it's going to be run the ball and play defense. We ain't going to be sitting here depending on all the little intricacies of our offense being tuned up and doing certain things to make things go. If you run the ball and you stop the run, that's what this game's going to be all about. And that's going to be a great intro into the original Big Ten. So,
yeah, it will be. It'll probably be a lot of some carryover from this past week's play calling and all that. So I'm with you. I want to go against you just to do it, but
just to be one of them. Look, Kenyon, listen. don't be that little brother just doing things just because. If you want to win, put Booby in.
If you want to win, put Booby in. Listen, I have my brother, my middle brother, Keandre. He was the child that went against the family with everything. We were all Laker fans. Guess what? He was a Clipper fan. We were 49er fans. Guess what? He was a Raider fan. Just always went against the grain. And I feel like in this situation, you my big brother, I'm your little brother, and I just need to go against you just because you said it.
All right.
Just by law, I need to. But I'm
so
not.
you want to put something on it?
No.
So you just so you don't believe?
No, I do believe. I'm going with you. I'm going with you.
My guy, we with it.
Look, I'm not jumping out the car. Not just yet.
Sorry, man. Get back in the car.
Yeah,
Buckle up.
I'm buckled up. Seatbelt across the chest. I'm in here.
Man, we
I ain't
listen
going
to some
nowhere.
music, man. R&B all day.
Yeah, all day long. I'm gonna need some rap though. Turn me up a little bit.
Yeah, we can turn up a little bit, but we're gonna tone it back.
Turn it back.
We need to.
Okay, when we need to. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it goes over.
All right.
I think the Ducks, especially back at the crib, back at the house, I think they come out. I think this is a statement game.
Yeah.
I think they know what's ahead. Not that they're looking ahead, but they know what's ahead of them. And this is the game where you got to make this team pay. You got to set the tone. You have to set the tone for next week.
Yep.
And it's just unfortunate that it happens to be Michigan State that's coming to town. But I do believe that we 24.5. I do think we go over that. And I do believe that this is a statement game that they're looking forward to and looking to make the statement that really puts the nation on notice.
Notice for sure. And I think too, like their quarterback Childs. Child, please. That's what I want to say when I see his name.
Child, please. Child, please.
But when he
You're old. You're old. You're very old.
He likes to take shots. I saw in the interview Dan Lanning talking about it. And that can be very opportunistic for us, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to our defense and how we were talking earlier in the sense of how they're trending, I expect turnovers.
Right.
And I think that's the true reason why, they ain't got no shot finding the end zone really. He likes to take deep shots, and it's not going to go well because we got some guys back there. Okay. And, and I also think that we're going to be able to get after the quarterback. He's going to want to get out of the pocket. We've seen that before against Oregon State. Hence, this head coach, he's an Oregon State guy.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And so we already know what his mode is. So whatever he's doing, we already seen it. So don't be surprised.
I agree with you. This is also an opportunity for our safeties to take that next step as well. I'm excited to see how they respond and how they come out of this game. I'm looking forward to a big game from them as well. So I'm excited about it. Really am.
Yes, sir.
Listen, folks, that's all we have time for today. We enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Stu, I love you.
Love you too, dog.
And remember, ducks of a feather flock together. We out.